Again to Rise and Thrive Together. Listen, last night behind the scenes, after Dr. Shenique Carmichael's episode on our show, we were backstage chatting, and you know what? There's some stuff that we still need to talk about. So we're coming to you live and in person. If you're here, join us. Great. If not, catch this and catch the replay of her show because it was absolutely phenomenal. Okay, this lady will have you in tears. I've gotten so many comments about last night's show. It was incredible, Shenique. You have a way of touching people's hearts, and it's more than just with your words, it's with your actions. And that's what we appreciate. And here at Rise and Thrive Together, we are about real talk, real action, real results. That's how we do it. Now, let me jump on in here. Shenique, you did not tell us that you were like on the news big time in the Bahamas and got some award. I'm gonna blow it up and make it bigger than what it is. Got some kind of award, and everybody in the Bahamas knows your name. And what is that about? Please share it with us.
Yeah, let's make it bigger than it is. How about that?
Because it's gonna happen.
But yeah, it did happen. I was asked, the Rotary Club of Nassau flew me into the Bahamas the Rotary Club of Nassau, which is the Bahamas, flew me into just speak to them about service above self. That was the topic. And then I had the opportunity to also speak at the girls' correctional facility that same weekend. That was not planned, by the way. And so right there, I mean, that was an amazing opportunity. God gave us the opportunity to just speak into those girls. And before I literally started ministering to them, I just asked God, I said, I don't want to go into this facility pretending. I want you to give me what they need, because these girls are going through real situation, live, I mean, real time, real situation. I want something to give to them. So when I walk away, they know it's you and not me. Wow. And so we were able to go into that facility. And when I started speaking, he gave me 3 things for them. It was 1, he said, every word in the Bible I give a command. And then the second thing he said, we are obligated as women and men of God, but I said women, to really adhere to those commands. And the last thing he gave me was, when you adhere to those commands, you are rewarded. And then I just started sharing. And when I tell you, I left that facility and they were crying, they were praying. Each girl in there had a Bible with them. And that touched me so much, because I said, God, thank you for allowing me to walk in there to be your hands and feet, but for people to see who you are through me. But people are truly hurting on the street. And I am so grateful and humble that he's used me to be able to do it, because he didn't have to. Right. And then that same weekend, the next day, I was able to speak at the Rotary Club, and they wanted to recognize our organization for all of the work that we do in the community. But the commissioner of police was there. We had cabinet members there. I didn't even know who those people were. I didn't even know they would be there. But God said he would place you among great men. Mm-hmm. And literally, when I finished speaking to them, the commissioner walked up to me and he said, you and I need to connect. I have your number. We need to work on this together, because what you're doing in Charlotte is what we're trying to do here. Wow. And I said, God, that is huge. You know, that was a God moment for me, because I'm like, he's using me to speak life into someone who has influence, to speak life into others, but doesn't know how to do it. But I mean, I know we only have a short amount of time, but I just wanted to share that it was powerful. Powerful to be able to see that God is working 360 or 180 in my life, where I was struggling, didn't have shoes, didn't have food. And now I'm going back. My team and I, it's not me, but my team and I are going back twice a year to service those in need, just like I was. Now I'm able to give back into the community that I came from. It's God, you know, and I'm so grateful and humble that he's using me for to do such a work, because it's huge. It is huge.
So you are international, Shenique. I mean, one of the things that I remember you had said, it's international. When I went on to this, to the site, I don't know if we discussed that, but really what I got very present to, because we are about building community, right? Yeah. And making an impact. Yeah. And I'm seeing leaving a legacy, right? You left a legacy as you spoke to those young girls in the facility, that their life is shifted forever.
Yeah.
You know, speaking to our viewers, whoever's listening, if you connect in the conversation of God or not, the bottom line is there is that higher self purpose way beyond anything that you and I can even have language to,
Mm-hmm.
that truly has us move and do that work. So I want to say thank you, Shenique. I use God. God, I am with you, you know, like all in that. But for the other viewers that might not be that conversation, the fact is that when you let go of yourself, and give for others and
Yeah.
make that impact in community, there is something bigger than you can possibly imagine. So I'll just start on the level of, what can you do, everyone? What can you do today
Yeah.
that's not about you?
Yeah.
Something bigger to make an impact and a difference. What
Yeah.
action can you take today that's out there, not about you, right? But think about maybe where you came from, what you're struggling with. And like, you might be struggling with some money, but like, you gave that $5 to somebody else because it's bigger than you, because you know deep down inside you're taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just comes, you know, more and more forward. So I just want to say that's what a big reminder is for me. Like, always, it's not about Raquel and I. It's not about why we call it Rise and Thrive Together. It's not about us. It's about all of us, because we're all connected. We're all brothers and sisters. And so what impact can we make? So I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for your story. I want to thank you for just, for me, again, you're that angel. That angel, I believe in that comes down, and it just reminds me, what else more can I do? How I can be of service, and only to listen to one person only.
Mm-hmm.
And that for me is God. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Now, Shenique, I also saw a video of your son. Who was he speaking to? There was a group of people. Was it the same young
Oh.
ladies or somebody else? Because your son, your kids are also involved in this, and your kids are, I'm going to say young just because I'm not as young as they are, but they're young adults.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that. And I saw him speaking, and he had their attention. So
Yes.
let's bring
Yes.
that up and have that conversation.
He is my son is amazing. That little boy, they've always been in the ministry from babies. So from we had them, they've always served with us. So serving isn't new to either of them. And he has
Mm.
the passion to reach people that he's never reached before, or people the unreached. I'm gonna say that. And he told me when he graduated high school this year, he said, I want, as we take them to church on Sundays, he sits there. I mean, as he was growing, I mean, from baby on to now, he would observe, and you just never know what they're thinking. And he said to me, he said, Mom, he said, he looked at the pastor and he said, I am going to stand up on a stage. He said, I'm not saying I want to be a pastor. He said, but I am going to stand up on stage and people are going to listen to me. He
Wow.
said, and because there are so many things that I went through as I was in high school and middle school that people don't want to talk about. But he said, I feel like if I start talking about it, they will listen. And he said he really wants to change lives. And so he just break out of this shell. He was quiet. Now he's still quiet, but when he gets behind the mic, he does our videos. He'll do some shows. He does the TikTok. He does the social media. He is amazing and humble with it, and I'm like, I can see him being that voiceover, right? Those, I can't explain it, but he's going to do some great things. Both
Awesome.
of them, but he is amazing. Yeah.
That is
But
absolutely
he
tremendous.
was speaking at a church, at
Okay.
a Bible study. Yeah. So they asked us to come for him to speak to kids his age and younger about service above self. And so he was talking to them about speaking about serving downtown Charlotte with the homeless community. And one of the questions that he received out of the audience is, "Are you not afraid?" And he said, "No. You
Mm.
walk in there and you love on them. You're not afraid." And then they asked him. He did so well. They asked him, "Do you go around to schools speaking about this?" And he
Wow.
said, "Well, not yet, but might be." So we just never know.
Mm.
But he is excited about it. He does really well. And the more he does it, the more confidence he has. Yeah.
Awesome. That's phenomenal. So now I know you're taking time out of your schedule. I just want to ask you, what's your big ask of us as Rise and Thrive Together and of our community.
Yeah. So
What's your big ask?
my big ask is, we hear it all the time, but funding. And I'm saying we need actual either monthly sponsors or weekly sponsors, whether it's $25, $10. We are serving so many people now, and the need is growing. And so the more people we have coming alongside us serving, they don't, I mean, even if organizations have the resources, the food and the supplies, the serving supplies, we get rid of those so quickly. So we need either the funding to help buy the plates and the forks and the spoons, and or just the funding to purchase the food to help feed the people that we are feeding. And or, as I shared with you earlier, these people coming into our homes, they have nothing. So our funding will go towards buying toiletries for them, deodorant. I mean, the basic needs for the individuals that we serve will go a long way if we have monthly sponsors, weekly sponsors, or bi-weekly sponsors, however you want to do it. But really, that would be my big ask, either funding or the resources to help serve these individuals.
And how can people supply you with your big ask? How can they
Yeah.
reach out to you?
So they can reach out to us via the website, or we have, if you're purchasing supplies, you can drop it off at our drop-off location, which is 3832 Freedom Drive in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can ship items there if you would like. You can send us an email at leahshopesandDreams@gmail.com, and or reach out to us on social media. So any one of those avenues, you'll be able to reach us, and we'll be able to respond.
Okay, great. And for those of you hearing this for the first time, if you go back and watch the episode from Monday, which was whatever yesterday was, the 24th, you'll be able to see the actual email address and how to get in touch with her scrolling across the screen. It's really, really important. And in these times that we put ourselves aside and start to help others and do for others. One of the things that I've learned how to do, and I'm in the season of, how can I help? That's my biggest thing. And yes, I will say this, I kind of stole that line from, what's that show? The hospital show, New Amsterdam. When that character, that doctor came on, the first thing he said to everyone was, how can I help? And that hit my spirit. And that has been with me all this year. It's even on my vision board. And my big thing now is, how can I help? It may not necessarily always be financial, but how can I help?
Right.
And we need to adopt that spirit of, how can I help? Because here's the thing, when you help others, you're helping yourself.
Yeah.
And we need to get out of that selfishness that, no, it's all about me and COVID did this. COVID did nothing. And I don't want to minimize it, but it gave us opportunities. Yes, we lost people. I get that. And I will not minimize that in any way, because I lost people during COVID as well. But it's how you perceive it. You look at it as it giving you the opportunity to do something, to create something. Look how many people started businesses during COVID because of the fact that they weren't able to go back to work. Look how many people are starting to help, reached out to help others during COVID. So it's your perception and how you see it. And we are in the season where people need help, clearly. And it's simple. All you have to do is say, how can I help? People will tell you, but you have to ask. Okay? So Shenique, one more time, how can people get in touch with you?
LeahShopesandDreams.org is our website. 919-986-5191 is our phone number. LeahsHopesandDreams@gmail.com is our email. Or you can go on Leah's Hopes and Dreams on Facebook or Instagram. Same thing for Twitter. Just send us an email, send us an IM, DM. We will definitely respond, but you have the opportunity to reach us on any of those avenues. And
the biggest M that they want is money. What they do from the heart, but they can't take their heart and provide for the people that they need. Okay? So remember, and if you can't find them on their, social media stuff, you can always reach us, info@riseandthrivetogether.com, and we will happily give you their contact information. All right? Shenique, thank you so much for coming on last night and just following up today. It's really, really important that people understand you serve from the heart. Okay? And remember, ladies and gentlemen, together We can rise and thrive. Thank you. Until next time.